But then, I think still the responsibility would have fallen back on the man that he did not guide her enough to not eat the fruit. You get? So, whichever way you look at it, the ball comes back to his feet and the buck stops with the man.
Cool. So, our challenge that we need to address even going forward is how to... And that's going to be our topic today still. We're talking about unmasking. How to bring the men to really have these conversations, because feedback is coming only from our women, so to speak. But we need to continue also encouraging the women to keep listening and also keep sharing with their men and giving us also pointers. This is not something that is secluded, just men and their stuff, no. You know, this is something for all of us to benefit from.
True.
I'll start with the feedback from one lady. She's called Luan T. She says, I believe you should also tackle the fact that some men put on shows to hide their insecurities instead of tackling their root problems, and thus they fail to feel that emptiness that they normally feel. Let me read it again. I believe you should also tackle the fact that some men put on shows to hide their insecurities instead of tackling their root problems, and thus they fail to feel that emptiness that they feel. This was shared after we aired our second episode where we're talking about wounded warriors. So what's your take on this one? The key words there is insecurity. Another word is men putting on shows, hiding their insecurities.
I think it is a valid point, and we thank you, Luanti, for raising that up, because surely that is what we want to do.
Yeah.
To remove the insecurities and then build up the character of men. And this is what we discussed the last time, that unless you come to a place where you're willing to be vulnerable, to remove the mask and be seen. Remember the 3 V's? Yeah. Vulnerability, visibility,
vocation.
And then vocation. That when you're vulnerable, then you can be seen, and then the real work can happen. Yeah. So it's true. We hide, and today I would like us to understand why the need to hide.
Yeah.
You know what pushes men into hiding? Because today actually I was having a meeting, and it came up that why don't men want to get help?
Yeah.
And you find again that word shame. How will it be seen that a man is weak?
Yeah.
Because somehow help has been associated with
weakness.
Yeah. And yet sometimes that's farthest from the truth.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you are helped, you end up being stronger.
Yeah.
Because this is now where you allow the energy, the input, and the influence of other people besides yourself to step into your situation and lift you up. And on that note, that is why as a human race we struggle with God. Why do we struggle to pray? Why do we struggle to seek help from God? Because we want to guard it. We want to
go when we are pure,
yes,
we are righteous, when we are fixed.
Yes.
That's when we want to appear before God.
Yes, and that's pride.
Really?
That's pride. As in, you're saying, I don't need you. That's what you're doing in essence when you say, let me first fix my own ish. Then maybe if I fail to fix it.
In other words, I need you when I'm okay.
Yes.
But when I'm not okay, let me sort myself out. Maybe it's an issue of feeling you're not worthy.
Again, how can you be unworthy of something that you're receiving for free?
Which is?
Grace. Love. Help. I want to help you. I want to love on you. I want to lift you up. If you say that you're unworthy of that, that is also pride. Because you're saying it's all about you. But remember what I said last time, that when you help a man, you build a nation. When you protect a woman, you raise a nation. So what we are doing here, and the thing is, men are going to be offended by the things we're talking about.
You want to tell me about the guy who was offended?
Oh yeah, he called this sanctimonious gibberish.
He called Sode Jamal's podcast sanctimonious gibberish.
Yes.
And on the other hand, a woman is appreciating what Soli Jamaz is doing.
Yes.
So you can see
But the thing is, I looked into his roots.
Yeah.
He's abused. His heart was bullied.
Yeah.
And now he has put on this veneer
Yeah.
of cynicism.
Yeah.
And, I don't care. I'm not attached.
Yeah.
But you know what I see? An afraid little boy.
Hurting.
He was bullied in high school.
Yeah.
And he has never recovered.
Yeah.
And every time he sees people struggling, coming up to be better.
Yeah. He waters it down and,
because
throws cold water on it. Yeah.
In his mind, maybe the people who are in authority painted a wrong picture that touched him in a wrong way. Now he's living in a cesspool of vitriol and he does not realize that he's poisoning his heart.
How does he come does he appear to you like he's some prideful guy, or is just a guy who is lost, so to speak? Maybe lost is such a...
So these are like masks upon masks upon masks.
He's putting on a mask.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
He's putting on a mask and a mask and a mask. And I found out that he also, his proclivities.
Yeah.
Strangely.
Did you watch
men?
Did you watch? Okay, let's not go there. You told me that you watched Game of Thrones. There's a place where masks. Remember that scene of masks?
Yes.
Very, very interesting. So this guy has masks upon masks upon masks. Yes. You remove one mask, there's another mask, there's covering another mask, there's covering another mask. But at the end of the day, there's a root.
There's a little girl.
One root.
Remember that scene was about?
Yeah.
At the end of those many masks was a little girl.
A little girl, yeah.
So many men are like that. Masks upon masks upon masks.
Yeah.
Hiding a scared little boy.
Wow. In your interaction with the fellow men, have you found a guy who is unmasked?
I tried to be one.
Yeah.
I tried to be one.
It's hard to find
a man willing to be vulnerable.
Raw,
Yes.
Just...
one man that I've found to be... who tries to be vulnerable was John Barnes. John Barnes, the Canadian...
the Canadian pastor whose wife had an affair, and is that the guy?
Yeah, the Friends of Watoto.
Yeah, the wife, the wife had an affair, and they got a kid out of this affair, and now they are walking the world with the kid, talking about grace.
Yeah, the kid was never a mistake. Let me tell you, there's no human being who is born without the approval of God. So this nonsense people be carrying around, bastards, born out of wedlock, born is the word. Alive is the thing. So we you see, another thing is, people end up having insecurities on behalf of others, and many men simply, inherit insecurities.
Yeah.
Like you, for example, we are children of teachers.
Yeah.
And growing up, being a child of a teacher was the most looked down upon thing.
Yeah. Even today.
It's taken me 35 years to acknowledge that I'm a teacher and accept that I am a child of a teacher, a grandchild of a teacher. Deal with it.
Yeah. The first time I got into college, I was doing a diploma course. It's the only thing I have in management information systems.
That's the only paper you have, but not the only thing you know.
Let me tell you about that. Just detour a bit and then we come back. I met a guy today. The guy has a master's. You listen to his message coming next week. The guy has a master's in international diplomacy, all those things.
That's what I'm studying.
In Ukraine, right? And the guy told me today he did a coaching certificate, 3-month coaching certificate for recovery, helping people to recover. He's a guy. I think we should host him on Soul Jamaz.
Sounds
what he says? He says the master's is just a paper, but my relevance comes from this 3-month recovery coaching course that I did. Yeah. So anyway, I got into this diploma course, and
it's about purpose.
Just talking about how teachers are looked down upon. I wrote my mama because I was asked, this course you're taking, and that's the biggest question that many parents normally ask, which is a very wrong question. which is, are there jobs with that course?
My old man, God bless him, when I told him about my master's in international relations and diplomatic studies, it's like, so when you finish, what do you become?
There you go. So I wrote my mama, who was a primary school teacher. I wrote to her and I told her, one of the things that you can become is a teacher and so on, but I am not going to be a teacher. I was already, biased against the teaching profession. But what I'm doing, let me tell you, 100% of what I do today is teaching. I teach people on how to discover, to own, to deploy their purpose. That is teaching.
So imagine if we had been deliberate, single-minded about teaching for the past 10 years. Now that you mention that, funny enough, in the year 2012, I had an opportunity to do a brand seminar. Like a brand and marketing seminar for UNRA at that time. And after teaching this course for about 2 days, 1 hour each, someone walked up to me and said, I don't know how long you've been doing this. And I told him, what, speaking? I'm like, well, maybe 4 years, because I'd been out of school at that time. 2012, I'd been out of school maybe 2 years ago. So I'd been teaching out of university. And I said, if you do this with all your heart, you will never need to do another thing in your life. The man was telling me 8 years ago, maybe now 9, of just teach. But the reason why I struggled with teaching was because it was an inherited insecurity about how we as Africans treat teachers. So this brings me to the point about masks. That many masks we are
inherited.
Yes, it's inherited baggage. It's inherited low self-esteem.
Can we like say that there's a saying in Kenya, mostly by the Kikuyus, who say normally, they say wira ni wira, as in kazi ni kazi, as in any job is a job. Any thing that you can be able to do is something that you should look down upon and say the only valid job is white collar, whatever it is. Those are some of the masks that we put on in terms of jobs, titles and education. So
don't you find it interesting when you see people with big titles with broken homes? What does that mean? That you're being a professor, you're being an MD, that you're being, I don't know, a chief, whatever officer. Whichever letters you can put before your name, for as long as you do not appreciate the 3 letters, M-A-N, and understand what that means. Funny thing, I think when you do business cards, we should put Lawrence Namale, M-A-N, like abbreviation, man, just to be clear.
By the way, do you know Seth Godin said the same thing some years back?
I'm feeling bright right now.
You know what he said? He said, I think he was teaching a seminar of something, and then he just came out of the blue. He said we should be just writing business cards, Lawrence Namale, human being.
Thank you.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Because once we understand, again, the source code, like we mentioned, to understand that, then it brings us to this place called authenticity, which is what is missing today. And you see, today, women have filters for their social media posts.
And even men, by the way.
And makeup. And men, we have masks. You get? And I was thinking about the word masculinity, that the first letters sound.
Like mask.
And then the word mask, M-U-S-K, like Elon Musk. A mask is some form of protection,